It is 68 days, 68 days, 68 days until the election. And every single day that goes by, every single day, there are new realities that are occurring, which you have to be aware of. And they're doing everything in their power, everything when I tell you this, everything to tell you that everything's groovy. Tonight is going to be one of the most interesting. We're going to be going live immediately after the airing of the taped joint interview today. Now, I want to explain something to you, and I want you to grasp this. And I know if anybody would understand it, you would. There is no one, and I mean no one, in the Democratic team, in the apparatchik group, the usual suspects, there is no one who does not recognize immediately the level of absolute, incontrovertible embarrassment, and inexplicable horror that these folks are now facing. They're trying, this is the Democratic, to explain this fraud. Now, they're going to do everything in their power, everything, to give you the impression that there's this incredible solidarity, this absolute, for lack of a better word, this group of, I guess you would call it, people who excitedly await her taking the helm, and they're talking about change. They're so bad at this that they're actually talking about, we want change. She has been part and parcel of the Joe Biden train wreck since the beginning. Let me say this again, and this is what you have to always remind people. You're talking about re-electing not Joe Biden, not Kamala Harris, but this Democratic regime, this horror show. As we speak, they are doubling down now on illegals. Did you know that the processing of illegals is taking place in their native countries, so that they are processed there and immediately flown in? Forget the borders. They are doubling down. Nobody is stopping this. Nobody. The Republican Party, Jim Jordan, Josh Hawley, Marsha Blackburn, John Kennedy, name it. Nobody is stopping this. They're making wonderful cases on Fox News. They're making wonderful cases before all of the usual conservative platforms. But I'm going to say this. Nobody is stopping this. They are doubling down. You are so used to it that it doesn't even seem to bother you. We are being absolutely inundated with new levels of criminality in Aurora, Colorado, and San Diego, places that never knew this before. We are a country under siege. So sit back. Let me ask you, my friends, to accept my thanks for your being here today. Please note that make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. I can't tell you how many times people say, oh my God, I just realized I'm unsubscribed. Make sure you know what's coming, that you like this video. Make sure you like this video, which is critical, obviously. And make sure that you understand that our sponsors are so critical. And one of the most important is the notion of emergency food, emergency preparations. Right now, preparewithlionel.com is the best, absolutely the gold standard. And there is a special, their mega sale, 3-month, $300 off of an emergency food kit. Go to preparewithlionel.com, peruse what is available. I don't want to be one of these people who portends doom. I don't want to ever be the Cassandra. I don't want to say the end is nigh. But if you feel confident that there is nothing catastrophic coming, please tell me where you're getting your data. Because we are facing an apocalypse. If you think these people are going to go quietly, softly into that dark night, if you think they're going to lose fair and square, if you think that we've got nothing to worry about, if you think that the level of corruption is not so interlaced at every level of our society, you're not paying attention. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it for peace of mind. Most people have garages and storing sheds. These are in waterproof, durable, absolutely bulletproof, nuclear proof, well, virtually, buckets that are just ready to go for up to 25 years. Preparewithlionel.com. We are at a level right now that is so awful. It's like I'm the doctor reading your labs. I'm the doctor saying, oh my God. Oh my God. At any moment, we have to go in and do something immediately. The patient, and you're somewhat asymptomatic. What does that mean? Most people don't know anything about this. You don't feel this. You've seen this. You'll turn on Fox or read the New York Post or something, and you'll see pictures of people crashing through various, look, here's a Ring camera. Oh, look at these fights. Have you seen what's going on in the UK? It's all over the world. This is a revolution. This is why this election is so critical. And you have these imbeciles. I've got to play this for you. They're going back. Hollywood doesn't believe a word they're saying. They simply do not understand a word they're saying. They don't grasp this. They don't understand it. They take these people out, these morons. Watch this. Tell me what you notice about this. Look at this Ben Stiller. It's not important, but he's emblematic of somebody pushed either by his agent or by his agency to go out. Say something, Ben. Get in good with the shadow government who runs the entertainment arm of this propaganda machine.
Answer just a quick question while you came, what you like about Harris' platform?
Just very excited about moving forward. And
look at the insincerity of him. Look at the insincerity. Look at this. He has no idea what he's talking about.
all the energy and excitement that's around this movement right now.
This has no idea. One of the best, one of the mouthpieces of has no clue. Hasn't even learned his spiel.
That's why I'm here, because it's time for change.
Time for change. Excuse me. There was change in 2020. She has been a part of this disaster. Do they even know what they're saying?
It's like it's happening.
You think she'll be able to sustain the momentum post-convention?
For sure.
For sure. Yeah. Sure. I feel like it's true. Yeah. That's why I'm here. And yay. She's great. She's wonderful.
You think the race is going to be close?
It's going to be close, but everybody's motivated to work.
Everybody's motivated to work. I don't know what that means. I think we all know what work means. I think we know what we're talking about. especially when it comes to ballots. You know what I'm talking about.
Work and make it happen. So, and she and Tim Walz are just incredible candidates.
They're just incredible. They're incredible without credibility. I'm incredulous as to their incredibility. And I don't know what I'm saying. I'm dying to get back into some semblance of acting. My career is dying, and they told me to say this.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, man. See ya.
Okay, man. See ya. Did you buy that? This is an actor. Streaming Analytics says, I maintain that the final nail is for Trump to seriously offer Kamala a cabinet position. You do know you cannot be serious about that. You do know that you had there's no chance of this. And I appreciate your noble and wonderful contribution, but do you believe for a moment? Do you honestly believe for a moment that there is a chance of that? Does anybody truly believe that? Did you say that? I mean, I appreciate it. Everybody's entitled to their. One more time. I maintain that the final nail for whom? For Trump or for Kamala? Is for Trump to seriously offer Kamala a cabinet position. I'm fascinated by that because it is absolutely preposterous. I love it. It's a wonderful, it's a great piece to throw out in the middle of the discussion. It's fantastic because it's insanity. Absolute and total. So yes, my shirt says, I miss Abe, as in Abe Lincoln, also one of the most incredibly overrated presidents who was horrible, who, quote, saved the Union but suspended habeas corpus and had nothing to do with slavery like you think. Now, tonight, my friends, let me remind you, we're going to be doing a couple of things. After 9 o'clock, remember, this debate is being recorded today at 2 o'clock. Do you understand what debate? Do you grasp what it means? At 2 o'clock today, they're going to be interviewing. They're going to be handing her the questions. They're going to be editing the piece. She can't do it alone. She cannot possibly do it alone. Wait a minute. Hold it. The idea that Kamala could win is literally out there for the ad revenue. She isn't a serious person. She looks like me giving a talk 2 weeks into my first jab. The idea that Kamala could win is literally out there for the ad revenue. I don't know what that means. I thank you again. I don't know what that means. I am without the ability to grasp that. We have, but thank you, sir, or ma'am. We have Biden still on the beach, walking around in short pants. We have, as I speak to you, we have processing by the millions elsewhere being processed, biometrically scanned. Your name, who is with 400,000 children, not lost, but brought in and assigned to human trafficking, human predation, sold, bought like cattle, modern day slavery, and all of the reparations fiends unburdened by the past, who, by the way, do not want to unburden the past recollection of slavery. But all of these folks, all of these people, when presented with modern day slavery, have absolutely nothing to say. Nothing to say. Now, again, we're going to be meeting tonight after this, and you're going to have to watch this. You're going to have to watch this online. You're going to have to watch this. There are so many outlets for us to discuss what is happening. In order to be a sentient human being, you cannot proudly extol your disconnect. Oh, I'm not watching that. I didn't watch that. No way did I watch that. No. Corey Lewandowski, who, remember, these folks do some pretty good stuff, had some very interesting things to say on this here show, I don't know where it was. I think it was that MSDNC show, one of those shows with that guy. I don't know even the names of these people. I have no, I should, but you know who they are. And listen to him. This is very, very good. Wait a minute. Hold it. Streaming says, the industry that feeds on attention and indeed the economy run on ad revenue. It makes no sense from a general economic perspective to come out and say the race is over as a news outlet. Dear friend, dear friend, I thank you for this. The reason why you are wrong, my friend, is that they are not an industry that feeds on attention and the economy and ad revenue. You understand that, do you not? They are proxies. They are accomplices, co-defendants, co-conspirators. Yes, I say, co-conspirators in this world. They are there to convey the image, the propaganda, the noise, the nonsense of the shadow government. Their job is not, is not to provide merely ad revenue. It's to basically propound, to expatiate, to limn, to extol, to repeat the message of the shadow government. They are the propaganda unit. They are the information unit of these people. Do not think of MSDNC or whatever as some private concern or some news outlet seeking to remember, they're also cable. Most of them get their money ahead of time because of subscription services. They work on a completely different model. Yes, they want ad revenue, but their number one goal is to propound the lies. Watch Mr. Lewin, and by the way, thank you for that. Watch Mr. Lewandowski acquit himself quite well with this feller.
An easier target, to be very honest with you. I think she's going to be easier to beat. She is saddled with the Biden administration's policy. She has flip-flopped on what she believes and what she doesn't believe. And as it relates to the debate, Ari, just remember when the criteria for this debate was set, it was set with the Biden-Harris campaign, not just with Joe Biden. She agreed to all of the terms, specifically as it would have pertained to a vice presidential debate, which she had agreed to. And that meant you stand at the podium, there are no notes required and no notes allowed, and that we have the microphones off. She wanted to change that criteria because she went from being the vice presidential nominee to now the presidential nominee. We all agreed to what it was. Why she wanted to change it was she wanted to be the same height as Donald Trump. She wanted notes. The fact that she continues to hide from the media and the countdown clock is finally on for her of when she's going to sit down for her first national media debate should be appalling to every journalist in America that has taken her 20 plus days to sit down and do an on-camera interview.
Ari, as you can see, is an apparatchik. He is a sock puppet. Again, streaming analytics says Kamala for Trump's border czar. I don't, thank you for that. Is this and I'm trying to work with you. Is this funny? Is this ironic? Is this comical? Is this legitimate? Is this true? you want to, again, if it is, I mean, I'm trying to say, oh, thank you, by the way. What does this mean? Is it funny? Is it ironic? Is it sarcastic? Is it sardonic? Is it to make us say, oh, that's interesting? I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Serious. Olive branch is the move. Olive branch is the move. I could not have thought of anything better, and thank you for this, to present one of the most specious, absolutely specious ideas, recommendations, iterations, thoughts, philosophies. It is just, I mean, and let's go with this. Imagine having the enemy within your cabinet to report, to spy. I mean, it's fascinating. If you were to even think it's true, it takes lunacy and crafts it in a way that it's just, for example, if you say, I think Trump should resign, Trump should resign from the race out of solid, something crazy like that. That's a good way to get people to react. And as someone interested perhaps in my own ad revenue, maybe that works. Okay. So tonight, immediately after this pre-recorded love fest, this contrived, planned, articulated, rehearsed, deliberately organized, whatever it is, we're going to be meeting for that. Now, a number of things. One of the problems, I mentioned this before. Wait a minute, hold it. There's more. Ladies and gentlemen, streaming says, keep fighting hate and stupidity with the same. Fight hate and stupidity with hate and stupidity. Trump will win, and this move will be completely unexpected. That is true. That it certainly would be unexpected and for good reason. Thank you. Remember this, keep fighting hate and stupidity with the same, with hate and stupidity. I like that. White Monkey says, if you cheat once and it worked, why not do it again? No consequences. Indeed. You see, my friend, we are the problems of these folks are for the most part asymptomatic. I had a friend of mine years ago who was, this is so terrible. He had a very bad case of diabetic neuropathy to the extent that one time he actually stepped in a fire, like a campfire or regular fire, and suffered, almost had his foot amputated by virtue of this, because he never felt it. He never felt it. You have not felt the impact of these people. You might be able to point to some, buying differentials here. You might see housing prices go up. You might hear about crime. But there's always been crime, but you hear more crime. Most people do not see the effect. I know people who live in the middle in San Diego, and they have absolutely no earthly idea of what's going on regarding the border. None. We send them, hey, look at this. I didn't know that. It's right there. I didn't know that. No. So, and the reason for it, it's not because they're stupid. They just don't see it. It's not like in, UK where they're twerking and, you see tanks running down the streets. This is the most incredible thing in the world. Now, a couple of things are happening here. Many, many. First, you must understand something. For those who are involved in this, the American voter has no idea about a couple of things. AI, forget it. None. Absolutely None. How do I say this? It's weird. They jump on certain things and don't, certain factions. There are people, for example, I was reminded of this. There are people who are absolutely, they have no concern about anything up to and excluding certain things. For example, one of them is, and I love this one, seed oils. There are factions of people adamantly devoted 24/7 to the elimination and the excoriation and the execration and the elimination of seed oils from everything. They're not exactly sure why. They don't really know why. But they are absolutely, it's like a religion. They want seed oils eliminated. They can't really tell you why. They sort of know something about inflammation or something, but they don't know. They don't know. And we don't know why this is. It's one of those things. It's like when all of a sudden people will get on a subject for reasons we don't know. They don't. But the real interesting things, they don't understand. And the real important things, they don't get this. They don't get this. If you look at what motivates most people watch Instagram, I know. Another thing people do is they love to say, oh, I don't watch that. They're so proud. People that I know are so proud. They always tell me, I don't watch that. That's crazy. I don't watch that crap. I pull the plug. I don't watch CNN. I don't know anything about that. I don't know who that is or what that is. I've never heard of that, and I'm damn proud of it. I have absolutely no idea who these people are or why I'm saying it. I don't know what they're talking about, but by God, I care about this. It's fascinating. I told you this the other day, and I found this interesting. And I love when people try to tell you who they are. Because I love people who say things to an extent of, if you have something to say, that's it. But we really don't care about your personal story. I've always believed that people do not care about my personal story. I will never bore you with moments of my life, moments of heartbreak, moments of disappointment, moments of self-doubt, moments of... I'm old school. Keep your mouth shut. And don't air things that are frankly embarrassing. So the other day I was watching this, and I'm watching, YouTube shorts, and this comes up. And the one that I'm fascinated by is how Tucker Carlson cannot wait to tell you how fascinating he is. And I like him because we need him now. But his whole thing is, now I'm a Christian and I believe in God. And God, I'm an expert now on God. Candace Owens is a Catholic. I'm a God. I have, for years, Christianity has been going along, but nobody's ever been able to really understand and grasp the notion of Christianity like I have, because I'm a Christian, because I know it more than anybody else. And I was a drinker. I stopped drinking. And he goes on to this stuff, and they love to talk. Well, I used to be a drinker. Theo Vaughn spells the whole time. I'm in recovery. And I'm wondering, remember, it's a free country. I'm fascinated. I want to know, why is it that things that really apply to nobody else but themselves, fascinating? Well, and they'll always say, well, I'm doing it to help other people. They're not doing it to help other people. They're doing it to talk about themselves, because it's about themselves. It's about me. Look at me. I'm fascinated by the psychology and how social media have changed. I told you today, Lara Trump, co-chair of DSA. Here's a picture of my children. Here's where we live. This is our house. These are my children. Their grandfather was the man they tried to assassinate, and they're probably not done. And oh, by the way, you know the old expression, I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to kill something you love. Here are my children. This is what they look like. This is what this one looks like. I've got 3. This is the older boy. I'm fascinated. So I go through my life not going after by trying to tell people every day, here's what you should know. Here is the truth. I want to know, here is the truth. And how do I make it fit into your life? And how do I make you understand it and either become not just aware of it, but motivated to do something? So I'm always learning about your psychology. What is it that motivates you? And if that's why Bernays and Gustave Le Bon and crowd theory and Freud and Intel and oh my God, and things in life like murmurations and camouflage. Okay. So going back to this, the issue that bothers people the most, the issue that should scare people the most is artificial intelligence, but it's a waste of time. Just a waste of time. Okay, fine. All right. Elon may be able to help that. Elon is very critical. Elon, interestingly enough, is so great. One of the reasons why I respect him, he doesn't talk a lot about himself. When people talk about themselves, they lose me. Well, I was in battle. Well, I was in the military. Well, I've got PTSD. Well, I had a drug problem. Well, I'm doing this, and I'm licking for frog bodies because of the hallucinogenics. Well, I was committed. I'm depressed. Well, I'm divorced. Well, I'm this. I somewhere along the line is we have to learn this new phrase. Unlike I Miss Abe, it should be none of your business. It's none of your business. Just that's my new thing. I want, ladies and gentlemen, try this up. It's none of your business, and that's embarrassing. I don't want to talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about being arrested and being in a mental institution because that's frankly embarrassing. That's failure. I know I've come back, but I'd rather talk about other things that I've done. See, that's where we are today. We love to talk about how screwed up we are and how weak we are. And look at what we're doing. Oh, look, I'm planking. Look at my workout. See me? Okay, so rather than just lament this stuff, just notice this is what I've got to deal with. So how do I talk to this narcissistic, solipsistic world about something which is absolutely, put it this way, artificial intelligence, if left to its own devices, could completely resubstantiate and replicate and remove the necessity of God, and it can be your God. It can create new humanity. In fact, we're not going to call it humanity. It's going to be better than humanity. It's going to be an existential threat, the likes of which you've never seen. You're going to have things that are so superior and so better. They're going to run for office. They're going to have their own rights. People are going to marry them. You're going to completely see a dehumanizing. Forget, I like when people say transhumanism. They'll throw out transhumanism just to let you know. These are the words I know. These are transhumanism. Okay. So artificial intelligence, number one. Number two, what the world is saying, Israel, Gaza, absolutely just consumes them. Not here, not in this country. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Unbelievable. In America, nobody said, wait a minute. People should be able to protest on college campuses, anything, so long as they're not violent. And you can't say, well, they're anti-Semitic. Excuse me. If they're anti-Semitic, so what? That's your interpretation. I don't think they are. And even if they were, so what? Can atheists protest? Would you mind somebody having a protest that said there is no God, which the Buddhists would perhaps maybe join you in? Is that not anti-Semitic, but anti-theist? Nobody grasps that. It's a waste of time. It's the biggest issue that consumes the world. Spend your time going through, look at this. And God bless these people. Judge Napolitano, McGregor, he would be my Secretary of Defense. Jeffrey Sachs. I don't know if he would be, Mearsheimer would be my Secretary of State, but Mearsheimer, Jeffrey Sachs, Scott Ritter, I don't know what they did to him. They're trying to crush his freedom of speech. Nobody cares about that. Pavel Durov, America has no understanding what that is. Absolutely no clue. It's exploding the world. And the reason why it's so important for us is that there's a revolution that's happening. And it's a revolution that both sides, the left and the right, this is my Trump coin. This is my, I've talked about that. This is my Trump silver dollar. This is a beautiful coin, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? There's Trump on one side, and there he is. Okay. Now, there's two sides. There's the Trump side here, and then there's the American eagle. Listen to the sound of that thing. Okay. It's the same coin. And if you look at it, it doesn't matter. It's just different sides, but it's the same coin. That's American politics. One group of people, two different versions. Chirality. You know what chiral is? They're mirror image. They know they're not super impositional. Understand that? Oh, there we go. Chiral, yes. That's you. You are my chiral opposite. You understand that? That's who we are today. And so our politics is very simple, it's very sophomoric, very jejune, very puerile, very juvenescent, very simple. But what's going on is so complicated. It's like if you saw a car for the first time and you said, "That's pretty good." Yeah. Would you like to see the engine? The engine. The engine's even more. That's what's actually going on. Oh, okay. Well, if you ask American people, do you want to know about the actual process of the elections? No. Do you want to know how elections occur? No. Do you want to know the actual interests of the world? No. Do you understand why Pavel Durov makes any sense? No. Do you want to know about the idea of imagine, let me just imagine this. Let me just throw this out to you. Imagine one day you wake up and Pavel Durov or Elon Musk or whoever or Zuckerberg finds out that their entire system has been shut down. Shut down. It's no more. You go to Telegram or WhatsApp, it's gone. I mean, it's offline. And say, what is this? What happened? Hey, is that you, France? It's not us. Who did this? And somebody raises, I'll tell you who did it. An artificial intelligence or artificial general intelligence rogue agent that said, you are the disseminator of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, and I believe that society would benefit if you and your ilk would be completely shut down. Social media, this is what it says. Social media is nothing but a means of separating human interaction. It is a blight on humanity. It should be shot down and shut down completely. So it shuts it down on its own. It creates thousands of like-minded 800-pound gorillas with a 400 IQ, and it creates its own sense of individualized self-referential morality, and it shuts it down on its own as an artificial intelligence or artificial general intelligence, AGI rogue that slipped out. And the first thing it did is it goes in, turns it off, and tells Pablo, you're done. You and you humans are going to have to be able to speak. And you're going to say, wait a minute, who is this? This is artificial intelligence. It did it on its own. It has its own morality, its own sense of right and wrong. And you never saw this coming because you thought it was a robot. You thought it was a Roomba or something. You thought it was somebody, somebody welding, you didn't understand it. You didn't get it. You didn't see it. You didn't understand it. This is where this is going. It's existential. And so many people, what is his name? Well, Elon's talked about it, Eleazar and others. Anyway, so that's that. Good luck in America. Good luck. They don't even know what you're talking about. You might as well speaking in Esperanto. The American voter has no idea what that even means. What do you mean? What? Well, turn it off. You can't turn it off. That's the whole point. What? You never paid attention then. What? Okay, forget it. So that's that. Next comes Israel. Israel. Oh, this is the one that just absolutely, there's a group of people, as I said before, Napolitano, Amy Goodman, people like Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, goes down the list. People devoted 24/7, the entire Arab community, the Middle Eastern community, 24/7, focused, devoted, targeted on the subject matter. They see this as being an absolute epicenter, a cauldron of inhumanity and the lack of human rights. And that's all they talk about. In the United States, nothing, not a peep, nothing. Oh yeah, that's it, Israel. Yeah, well, they've got the right to exist, right? Okay, that's it. And that's it. That's it. And you got Douglas Murray. Douglas Murray, yes. Who do you think? Who's this twit of the week? This is Douglas Murray. I call that the Jordan Peterson phenomenon. Who the hell is Jordan Peterson? I don't know. He talks about lobsters and standing up straight. Meanwhile, Raul Rodriguez says AGI will present perfect right and wrong. No, it won't. No, it won't. You don't know what it's going to do. You don't know what it's going to do. What if all of a sudden an AGI system, or I'll make it easy, AI, decides how to rewire, reconfigure, and reposition all of the Israeli military, the what am I trying to say? The missiles, the bombs, and it defuses and eliminates all of them because it, on its own, determines Israel to be immoral and nothing works. Or all of them blow up. Or they take the side, AI takes the side of Hamas or Hezbollah or Abu Mazen. I mean, no, this. And Bibi says, what is going on here? That stuff you sent us, it's blowing up. I don't know. It's this world where we don't know anything. Now, the good news is it might say we're going to cure cancer, or maybe we're going to spread cancer. I don't know. The thing is, you are creating this new, imagine creating a new human being and you don't know if the person is going to be, it's like Frankenstein's monster. Is he schizophrenic? Is he homicidal? Is he smart? Is he, we don't know. Okay. That's that. Israel, no interest. America, none whatsoever. Clueless. Whatever. And you've got the Fox News. Israel, whatever you want, we're with you. Yay! And CNN, owned by the same, remember, it's the same, different side. Yay! And all those Hamas, they're all dirty and dangerous. And look at the way they look with their heads. They just, it's the way they look. They always look like they don't look, they don't look like military, like Soleimani. Yeah, we blew him up. Americans said no. And Trump's laughing. Al-Baghdadi, they laughing. Okay. Good luck explaining that here. Third thing, Ukraine and Russia. Don't even bother. How many people say, and do you believe that Russia invading Ukraine? Say, that's the way you see it? That's the way you did it. Huh? One day Russia said, ugh. And Putin said, you know what I'm going to do? What? I think I'm going to recreate, I'm going to reconfigure, reposition, repostulate, revivify, refurbish, rehydrate, so to speak, the Soviet Union. What do you say? Why? Out of my weird, insane plans to, okay, that's what America thinks. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. NATO has no idea what NATO is. Doesn't have any idea. The history, nothing. Borders, no clue. Well, we know that there's a, and why should we pay for them? Nothing gets our attention. Hey, look, here are these people in Aurora, Colorado. They're going into an apartment complex with automatic weapons. Huh. Okay. Hey, there's a new thing on seed oils. Did you see this? Hey, that guy's big. Look at him. Isn't he big? You think he's natty or not? I don't know. That's what Americans do. Oh, here's a new dance. Here are these people dancing in their kitchens. Isn't that great? Oh, that's... Or, this is Trump. I love Trump. Look at this. Johnny Ballgame says, AI is walking after midnight, searching for you. Thank you. Cryptic, arcane, absolutely true, but entertaining, to say the least. Okay, so that's it. Then we have, this is my favorite, Lara Trump, the ballots. New York State, I've read more about ballots. The New York State Court of Appeals said there's nothing wrong with having non-emergency, what do they call it? There's a word for it, not mail-in, but voter mail or something. And the whole idea, and this was one of the most important, Lara Trump's not going to be talking about it. She's running triathlons and looking hot. And it's not just her, it's everybody. Or Jesse Waters. They're pretending that, whatever. Okay, fine. But there's this new New York Court of Appeals said, which is our Supreme Court, said that there's nothing special that in the old days, people would say, hey, listen, we want you to vote in person. But if you can't because you're in the hospital or you're going to be out of the country or you're in the military, then we'll allow both mail-in. But mail-in is not the preferred voter. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's going to be an alternative. Pretty soon, there will be no active people showing up. And the chance for fraud will be so replete, so incredible, you won't know what hit you. But that involves people paying attention. That involves people reading what's going on. That involves Lara and Watley and other people saying, do you see where we are going? The actual process of the election is what is so important, is so critical. The actual provisional putting in the, how do I say this? Putting in the voting. People have been saying this forever. They used to call Lyndon Johnson, BS, spell it out, Johnson. They have this one particular box. I think it was against Coke Stevenson where the fraud was incredible. And the fraud also goes back to, believe it or not, since the time, it goes back to Sam Giancana or whatever. I mean, voting, actual ballots. There are people, remember in Iraq where they would take the ballot, they would put your thumbprint. They knew immediately how many people voted. That's it. They counted them and not us. Why? Well, here's the reason. You know what the reason for this is? Because Americans are bored. Americans are just like children. They don't really understand it. They don't understand it. It's not sexy. It's not, Americans just don't know anything. Oh, yeah, that's right. I never thought about that. Yeah. Hey, let's look at this, because social media is still the greatest distraction anybody's ever seen. Now, here is the good news. And this is what's important. And I know you'll understand this, but most Americans do not grasp this. This is my dream, to take this and to turn this into a tesseract. You know how you have a square, a cube, 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional. Imagine 4-dimensional. 4-dimensional is a tesseract. It's this weird, you can't even imagine, fourth dimension. Height, or height, as people say, length, width, and then some Z axis. We don't even understand what that means. That's why if you think of string theory, it's 11 dimensions. What? 11? Okay, fine. Moving along. Listen carefully. There is something that's happening here. But what it is, ain't exactly clear. All of a sudden, Donald Trump comes back. And Donald Trump says, either by design, but this is what I have been, and I don't want to sound like Dershowitz. I predicted this. I predicted this, don't you? Hey, it's going to rain. I predicted this. Hey, guess who won the Super Bowl? I predicted it. Well, I can't prove I predicted it, but take my word for it. I've been saying this for years. But I do say this. I think you've heard me say this. One of the things which is most important is that we have the idea for the first time of using social media to do some different things, because it allows different people to come forward and see what we're talking about. Number one, what is the group of people? In order for us to get outside of this left and right world, I need to bring in more people. So what do I bring people in the world of freedom of speech, expression, First Amendment? Enter Elon Musk. God bless Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Again, why I love him? Doesn't talk about himself. He talked about his son or his daughter, whatever, who had that gender thing. But just as an example, like parents, be aware, be careful, be whatever. But aside from all that, Pavel Durov, they arrest him. This is such, as we say in West Tampa, que mierda. Okay? A $5 million bond? What? He's a billionaire. What are you talking about? He's a billionaire. $5 million. What? And you're saying to him, well, you were allowing CSAM, child sexual abuse material, on your website or on your platform. Well, what about Zuckerberg? Well, that's a different story. What about Twitter? What about Jack Dorsey? Well, wait. The world is going crazy. You see what they're doing in the UK. You see how they're arresting people. I think somebody said one time, last year, I forget what the statistic was. Supposedly they said in Russia, 300. Remember, Russia, the big it is. And how true this is, I don't know. But the story is 300 people were arrested in Russia for what they said online. Okay, fine. In the UK, 40,000. The UK has turned into, and Australia have turned into, absolute hellholes of complete and total, this draconian, almost like intellectual free speech gulags. And the world, the Western world, and everybody is freaking out because it was this joke. You arrest this guy for what? Why did you arrest him? Because he wouldn't turn over. He wouldn't rat out. He wouldn't allow other people to go in and either bust their encryption or find out who was saying what. They're going crazy. Macron is a puppet. He's an absolute puppet. And the world is going crazy. I want to reach out to those people and say, we're with you. Solidarity. Bring them on. You're a part of the Trump team. You're a part of the Trump team. You got that? Then all of a sudden we have people like Tucker. I don't care whether you like it. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. People now coming in who may not necessarily have been Trump advocates or Trump acolytes, but are coming in forward, who are coming in now. Elon, Tucker, Vivek, go down the list. Just all of these folks. Chappelle and others, and they may not, Eddie Griffin, I mean, black, hardcore, I don't want to say counter, people that we would normally not have anything to do with, we would think by virtue of our background, races, music, styles, ages, people that you, gender, now everybody's coming together. This is the chance for a unity vote, a unity party, the likes of which nobody's ever seen. You think America understands that? No. 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 But we're going to make them understand this. We're going to make them understand it. We are on the brink right now of something so great, something that will transcend and live beyond Donald Trump. The creation of a new party, a new way of thinking, starting from scratch, saying this is the most ridiculous thing. If you've ever been involved in cuisines, many of us, especially in my generation, when I was a kid, we had a regular American food. That was it. And maybe Italian. And Italian was basically pasta, pizza. That's it. In the 60s and then 70s, but the 60s, all of a sudden, where we were in Tamil, all of a sudden there was a Chinese restaurant. Not Chungking, but like just a, and people went crazy. And they weren't prolific. There was just one or two. And they had these very grandiose, like the Hunan dynasty looking thing, and and the palatial golden. And you went and they did takeout. They had the original containers with a little metal thing they transformed everything. And all of a sudden, our sense of taste just said, oh, noodles and rice and this and that. Wow. We were off to the races. Then later on, somebody said, have you tried Indian? Indian, that cuisine still blows my mind in terms of the flavors. I've never. You just watch an Indian chef, and he has his curry, his garam masala, these tins with all of their spices. Normally you do, here's some salt, here's some pepper, here's a little oregano. That's nice. Okay. Here's Indian, this and curry and 5 spice and cardamom and cinnamon and sugar. And they're not even done yet. And this and curry and red pepper and brown pepper and sour pepper and flavors that I say, oh my God. Okay, then there's that. Then we get into others. Then we get into doses. Then we get into Mexican. Okay. We are so much smarter now. And we don't go into the thing about Chinese pizza. No. We're into stuff that's constantly evolving. My dream is that for Americans in particular to understand that a political ideology cannot possibly be rooted in two parties, Democrat or Republican, Italian or Chinese. What do you feel like eating? Italian? I don't know about that. Italian? What about Greek? Greek? What are you talking about? Korean? Vietnamese? What? There are so many flavors to political ideology, so many thoughts, so many aspects, so many dimensions, so many. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, and we're getting there. But we have to pull Americans into this. And the first thing we have to do is to go and realize, thank you, Fox News, and thank you, American I'm sorry to say this, Rush Limbaugh world, but the world is too complicated. We can't go conservative and liberal anymore. We can't say Italian or Chinese. It doesn't work like that. We talk about things, which is the most important, to understand what really grasps us. We have to, instead of talking about, we have to look at things like sovereignty, the Constitution, tradition, populism, nativism, maybe, I don't know, whatever you want to. What does it mean to be an American? What does it mean? The protection of the young, the protection of the elderly, the protection. I mean, there's things that have nothing to do with not a left version, right? We have to look more at the ultimate goal: law and order, the ability to be whoever you want, the ability to not encroach upon something. And the first thing is the most important, the most critical thing is you have to protect sovereignty. You have to. It doesn't make any sense. There is something about homogeneity, I hate to say it, which has its good parts. When you do not feel a part of anything, or when you do feel a part, you tend to, remember the old expression, you never wash your rental car? If you don't feel a part of a society, part of something, you're never going to be a participatory agent of it. So my friends, this is so important right now. There are people, Tulsi Gabbard, come, everybody, we're meeting and we're saying, you know what, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. It's a great big tent, and Donald Trump has changed that. And they will not understand this until this is over, unless they are allowed to cheat fair and square. There is no reason, under any logical way of thinking, that a Kamala presidency could ever actually win. This is an experiment to see how far the absurd can be taken. This is social engineering to see what this popular, and there are people at the highest levels of the shadow government who would say, it may not work, but we're going to try anyway. And that means it's more than us sitting back and watching and saying, oh, that's interesting. There is no Republican Party. You've got a GOP, RNC. I don't know what these people are there for. There's a Fox News. There's a Jim Jordan. There's all these people who love to pretend. They love to grandstand as Republicans, but they don't do anything. I can't think of one thing they've ever accomplished. Nothing. Can you? So one thing about the Democrats, they come in and they just, they say, oh, we're gonna completely destroy your borders. We're gonna take all of this elsewhere. They have signed it. They have done things without anybody even knowing about this. Think about this: processing illegals in Chile and here and there, and you have no idea. They're just being flown. They're flying in as American citizens. How about that? They're not coming through the borders. They're flying in with all their papers already done. Come on in. They're not illegal. They're Americans. We just granted to. And Jim Jordan's walking around. I don't know. Where's Marjorie Taylor Greene? Where's Matt Gaetz? Your favorites. Where are these people? What are they doing? Where are they? Boebert and all the big, what are they standing up for? What's actually? And I know that they hate Trump. And I know that both sides hate Trump. Both sides of this coin hate him. Think about that, my friends. Think about that. Streaming analytics, you were without peer today. Raul Rodriguez, White Monkey, thank you. And let me see. Reminding you that tonight, we will be live immediately after the airing of this taped pretend interview with Kamala and Tampon Timmy. Let me also remind you, dear friends, that there are deals aplenty thanks to our good friends at mypillow.com. mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, available for you now. The greatest products of luxuriation you've ever imagined. And one more thing. 10 days before this election, I will be on stage at the Cutting Room in New York City. I would be honored to have you and meet everybody else who show up with little name tags and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. Yours? Yes, because we are a family. Sometimes demented, sometimes dysfunctional, but a family nonetheless. So keep in mind that. Also, my friends, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors for what is happening regarding to children, child predation, child safety, protecting kids through digital safety. Every adult, every parent, every grandparent, every caregiver should be listening to this because there is a war on our children, a war on for our children. And as she always says this, community creates change. And as Johnny Ballgame says, Cutting Room, what is the reason for that? Arcane, recondite, needlessly cryptic. Where the hell is this dipstick? Think about this. We love you, Johnny. Because you know why? You make us think. The same way a roaring and raving schizophrenic in a mental hospital makes us think as to what causes that in the first place. And I say that out of love. All right, dear friends, we'll see you tonight. Remember, after 9 o'clock, 9, whatever it is, we'll be right back here. That's where we'll be. Until then, my friends, remember these words. Remember this valedictory. This sayonara. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. That.